everyone, Egman here with another video and another deck profile, and this one I'm really looking forward to. This one's been a lot of fun, and it's using the Reboot Super Saiyan God Son Goku leader. I really like this leader, and I hadn't found a deck that I really jived with him yet, and I think I found one, at least the first of, I hope, a couple. Because I think this leader is really cool, and I really like him. So, what's he do? So if you don't know the original one, you just, whenever you swung, you're able to untap a blue energy. But now it has this new effect that when this card attacks, choose one. You can either draw one card, or you can choose up to one of your mono blue energy to switch to active mode. So I think the front, it's still a little bit better. Of course, it's only mono blue instead of like non-mono blue, because like originally you could like charge like a blue yellow energy, swing, and then you on turn one, and then have like a blue yellow untap. So that was kind of neat, but you kind of lose card advantage if you didn't awaken super early. So that was nice, but then also it has its awaken condition is either if you have your life is at 4 or less, or you have a blue Unison card with specified energy cost of 3 in play. You can draw 2 and flip this card over. So you can awaken this on turn 3, and you can do it early, so you have more energy, more cards in your life than you would normally. So that's kind of good, and it's based on that. Or it's still, and I don't know, it's a draw 2 leader, which I think is fantastic for this guy. Since you already have so much untap inherently, that extra card draw is nice. And then on the awaken side, when this card attacks, you draw 1, and then you can switch up to 2 of your mono blue energy to active mode, and then at the end of your turn, choose up to 1 of your blue Unison cards and switch to active mode. So I like this card a lot, has a lot of good going for it, and I think it's really neat. It has some cool interactions, and to take advantage of it, we're going to look at this deck. So first, I guess, before we go into the main engine, we're running 4 of this guy. I think this is super necessary. This is the only Unison we run in this deck. I think it's fine with this if you want to run some of the, what is it? So just for real quick, this guy you can run if you have him. I know he's kind of hard to get right now, but I think he's kind of cool. He's not needed for this deck. He has some cool interactions. If you don't have him, don't worry about it. I think just having these 4 is fine. I wouldn't worry about it, and you are good there. But really great. His blocker, every time you switch this card to active mode, you get a marker on this, so you can use it with his leader. It has a +0 where you can get some free cycle, or you get a -2, you can get rid of 2 of your opponent's cards. You bounce it back to their hand, no, bottom of their owner's deck. That's super nice. So great card. You have a bunch, like you get this, you have 4 tokens with this if you play on turn 3, you swing with it. And that's just a lot, especially when you have a blocker on this ability. So it's just good Unison, and it's kind of hard for your opponent to get rid of. And if they do, they have to expend a lot of resources. So it makes a lot of sense for this deck. Obviously, like these were released at the same time. That's why they have that cool Shenron part. So yeah, definitely run that. I think that's a no-brainer. But let's go to the main engine. I mean, you saw the video title too. So we're obviously running the agent cards. And so here's this Bobbity is really good for sending you making like other deck agent decks, which is really nice. And it's mono blue, which is great for our leader. So even just turn 1, if we're going second, we can play this Bobbity, and then we can swing, we can untap, we have 1 energy, and then we can play either this card for 1 energy, which is great value card, or we can have an energy open, and we can play this Garlic Jr. for on the defense step, which just also plays this guy. So that's really cool. These are the only 2 drops we have in the deck, so this can only find the Turtles, but that's just really good. For 1 energy, you get to play 15k, and then you get to play the Turtles 15k, and then also you're able to, like this card just generates value when you swing with it too. Really great, just start the engine off, and you just get a lot of advantage really early, a lot of cycle. So that's really cool. So we're running, of course, 3 of the Turtles and 3 of the Garlic Jr. So those are the basic ones. I also thought about running the Slug Super Combo. That's also a 2-drop. So if you want to run that card, you can. I didn't, but that's just an option as well. And if we look at the 3 drops, we're running 3 of this Broly Invincible Agent of Destruction. This card's broken in a lot of ways. We're also running 3 of the Android 13 agents and also 3 of the Hatchiyak ones. So how these ones work. This one is great because you're able to just play it for 2 energy if you have Bobbity out, and then with your 2 energy you're able to pop up one of your opponent's cards with energy cost 5 or less, and then also you're able to KO one of then you just look at the top 3 cards of your deck and you just add 1 to your hand, which is nuts. That's a super great effect. It's fantastic being able to search what cards you need, and which is part of the reason why I'm already running 3 Unisons, because I think you're finding pretty easy with this guy, and this card just oozes value. Hatchiyak is you also need to run 4 of, because it's also like a Bobbity in a lot of ways. You're able to just play him for 1, and then you use his 1 effect to just play Bobbity from anywhere. So it just guarantees you find this turn 1. And then also it has this auto that when you play this card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, any cost of 4 or less, send it to the owner's warp. then place up to 3 battle cards with from your opponent's drop area at the bottom of the deck in any order. So this, we haven't seen this effect be really good in a while of just putting stuff to the bottom, but since you're running this card anyways, and you're already KOing something for 4, this could just be a fantastic card for getting rid of stuff and then like clearing your opponent's drop area. It's great. It's a cool card, and I've played that with that a couple times. There's also, this also has some active main for 1 energy that you can, discard this card, then add 1 agent destruction card with agent destruction in its hand from your drop area to your hand. So this can be really good at finding like this, which you can use to find the Bobbity for, like if you need to find a Bobbity for 2 energy, you can just discard this, get this, discard this, get this, and then you're good to go. So that's really nice. And then also, kind of like the super duper value card of the deck is Android 13. This is from the original set of Agent of Destructions, but man, this is so good. Being able to play this for 2 energy is good, and then you're able to just, for active main, non-once per turn for 2 energy, you're able to discard 1 card from your opponent's hand and blow up 1 card on their side of the field, which only is better when you think about it with this leader. So you're just able to use this effect several times, especially with leader. You're able to untap 2, which just means 1 more activations of this. It's a 20k crit, so your opponent has to get like around this guy too, and I love this card. He's fantastic. He does a lot of work, and he's a big threat that your opponent wants to try to get rid of, which you can of, right? But I like this guy too. And the fact that these are all 20ks are nice, because you're normally 15k is kind of like, at least for like negging a card, that's how you get rid of, is minus 15k. So doing a minus 20, I feel like is pretty intensive right now. So those are all the agent cards for that. So we're running 3 Abunis. If you don't have this card, don't worry about it. He's not needed. I don't think he's super duper needed in any way. He's just, we're running blue, so why not put Abuni in here, right? He can carry games all by himself in a lot of ways. So if you have him, run a couple. If you don't worry about it. But, you know, obviously this is a good card. We're also running 4 of these Son Goku and Hit Supreme Alliance. So this is really good because, well, also I guess we'll show our super combo is also running as Zamasu, just so I feel like there's enough cycle and card draw already, and so this being able to just stop some attacks is great. Stop your opponent's leader is good, and we're already running like some blue and yellow stuff anyways, because we're running some Garlic Juniors and like a bunch of blue cards. So even if we don't have the Zamasu, there's ways to get this out. And he's just, you know, a free a 1-play blocker. You can activate, and he's just really defensive. The original reason I put this guy in here is because of its interaction with this guy, or even like the 2-drop Gogeta. No, is it Gogeta? I think it's Gogeta from the Star deck. I'm pretty sure it's Gogeta. That Unison has the same permanent that this one does, that says if your leader card is a blue Saiyan card and you have the blue Saiyan card in play in rest mode, your leader does not take damage from attacks. So you can just like have this, he's a blue Saiyan that you can play, and then you can also put him to rest mode during your opponent's turn. So it's just like, it's neat. It's a neat interaction here. It was probably a little bit too cheesy for me, but that's the original reason I put this card in the deck, and I still think he's good. If you don't think he's good, take him out, but I like the card, and we're already running kind of like blue-yellow stuff anyways, so that's why I put him in there. But still good, still great, and we have so much energy flexing and everything that it just makes sense. Next up, we've got, of course, we're playing 4 of these guys because they're also broken. We're playing Unison cards anyway, so why not run one of the best counterplays? Just helps us out. Really good for like if they try to play like a topo to stop us from going in for the game or something. You can bounce it back to their hand, and then you can still swing as long as they don't have like 2 more energy flexing. We're also playing the Arcane Absorption Majin Buu. If you don't have this card, don't worry about it. This is definitely like a win more card, but I definitely like flexing with it. So for turn 6, you have to just use active main. For 6, you choose 1 Evil Wizard Bobbity card in your drop area or warp. Play the chosen card, then play this card from your hand on top of the card you played. As far as I know, and this ruling could be wrong, you can't use this effect if you already have a 1-drop Bobbity in play. So if you have this guy, oh, where is he? Where'd he go? If you already have this guy in play, you have to like combo him off first, and then you can play this guy. I think that's how the ruling works. I would assume so, because you'd have to play this, and this has like essentially unique on its tag, so you have to be worried about that. But you play this, it's a big old 40k triple strike, and then you also get to play 5 battle cards. For what, 5? And you play this card if there's an Evil Wizard Bobbity under it. Choose up to 5 Agents of Destruction cards from your drop area or warp and play them. So you're able to just do that, go off and just play 5 beefy dudes. So that can be obviously like the crit. These are great because they're 20k crits. These Brolys just gain so much value. This Hatchat can blow up their drop area. So like just you have a bunch of beefy dudes that your opponent has to get rid of, and it can be kind of scary. So I like this card. I don't know how it works with having to play this card if there's a counterplay window for it. So if you do this for 6 and then your opponent uses something to, I guess there's no way to really pop this Bob. Like if they use like preemptive strike, right? And this Bobbity gets destroyed, you still play this, really? I don't know how that works. I don't know if this can be preemptive strike or not. But paying 6 to be stopped by a 2-drop counter feels kind of bad. But I think that's something you have to just watch out for. But still a cool card, and I like it. And it's just like a flex. But if you can do it, you should do it. Lastly, our extra cards. We've got 4 Dimension Magics and 4 Sensu Beans. That should make sense in this deck. We're running blue stuff, so we definitely want these. And it really works out. So this is the main deck that I have right now. And then just some additional option cards. So I kind of already talked about this guy and this guy. I think they're both good. This card gets rid of cards with barrier, which the rest of the deck has a really hard time with. So that could be something worthwhile. The only bad thing is you have to have 4 specific energy. And getting 3 for this guy is good, but we start running out of blue cards around here. And so that's something to worry about for that. Also, real quick, so I talked about this guy being a blue Saiyan, but this is also a blue Saiyan. In case you want to do some cheese with that too, just worry, like this is an Agent of Destruction that's also a blue Saiyan. So just think about that if you want to do like cheese with this permanent. That also means that you can use, oh man, I gotta dig for the card. That also means you can use this Super Saiyan Trunks to play this card from your hand for free. So if you still it's cheese stuff, but that has some options just because this archetype does have a blue 2-drop Saiyan. So there is that. I already talked about him. If you want to do some blue, I think this deck can also kind of shift blue-green because we have a bunch of green cards in this deck too. So if you want to like do this guy, like I think there's a lot of options. So there's a lot of options for this. The Agents is just a strong like starter way to build the deck and just gain a lot of value off your cards. So if you want to do more of like a blue-green with this and then go into like Ultra Instinct Sign or something like that, I think that's totally an option. We have, already we're running, 8 green cards? Yeah, we're running 4 of these Brolys and 4 of this Android, this boy, and then if we want to run the Slug Super Combo, we can have like 2 more. So like there's options for it. Like you can, if you want to have like blue-green cards go into stuff, I think that's totally an option for the deck as well. And I think, I guess also, if you want to run Goku 8, he can always be good. I know it's expensive, so don't worry. But he's yellow, so he helps with your blue-yellow arrival stuff. And we're always going to have like 2 open energy with this guy, so making this guy like a swing, draw 3 feels really, really good in a lot of ways. So that's something to consider as well. But here's the deck. Let me know what you guys think about it. There's going to be, obviously, a link in the description for the actual deck list. And let me know what you guys think about it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.